प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं तं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
Now we start with the verses 25 to 27. भीष्मद्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषाञ्च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्य एतान् समवेतान् कुरून् इति। तत्र अपश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थ पितॄन् अध पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुरान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखीन् तथा स्वसुरान् सुहृद च एव सेनयो उभयो अपि। तान् समीक्ष्यसु कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् कृपया परया अविष्टः विषीदन् इदम् अब्रवीत्। Before Bhishma and Drona and all the rulers of the earth, Krishna said, Partha, behold these Kurus gathered together. The son of Pritha, Arjuna, saw there before him uncles and grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, and grandsons, and many friends as well. He also saw father-in-law and well-wishers on both the armies. Then the son of Kunti, Arjuna, he sees all these kinsmen thus present. Now we will go into the essence of what Maharshi said. Partha, behold these Kurus gathered together. This is the first utterance of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, the first word of advice to Arjuna on the battlefield in this verse. When Lord Krishna said Partha, the miracle it produced in Arjuna has for centuries escaped the attention of practically every commentator. And so, in consequence, Arjuna is portrayed as a confused mental wreck. Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna as Partha, the son of Pritha. With this very expression and with his loving tone, Krishna reminds Arjuna of his mother and thereby creates a warm wave of love in his heart, the warmth of love that connects the son and the mother. Krishna creates this tender bond of love which develops into all family and social relationships that maintains a family, a society, a nation, and a world. So Lord Krishna, who is the only one who is capable of doing this, he created this wave of love in Arjuna's heart, and then he desires to strengthen it. He says, behold these Kurus gathered together. Seeing all his dear ones together in one glance, Arjuna's whole heart swells with love. He holds and he beholds all these different relationships in different shades of love. Lord Krishna has seen that Arjuna was outraged. Anger is a great enemy. It reduces one's strength, and his charioteer does not like to see Arjuna's strength waning. Lord Krishna is required to do something to restore Arjuna to his normal stature. But this alone will not suffice. Something more is necessary to make Arjuna really strong. Anger is a sign of weakness, and anger in him indicates that he is not really strong. Lord Krishna knows that Arjuna, although he is the greatest archer of his time, has not been given the real secret of warfare. He has been taught the art of archery, but he has not been trained to shoot his arrows while remaining firm in himself. If an archer shoots while he is angry, his anger will make him weak. We have seen that Arjuna has called Lord Krishna Achyuta, which means firm and unmoved. This is what Lord Krishna has to teach Arjuna to be like Achyuta, firm and unmoved. But Krishna cannot give the wisdom unless Arjuna is ready for it and he asks for it. Arjuna has to show his readiness to receive it. It is necessary for Lord Krishna to arouse in Arjuna the need and desire to learn. It would have been demoralizing if Arjuna had been told on the battlefield that he needed to know the art of being firm. He had to recognize this for himself. Only then could Lord Krishna help him. To produce the desired results in Arjuna, the Lord speaks one short sentence, and that is what this is, Partha, behold these Kurus gathered together, and he invokes this wave of love in his heart. When we say the son of Pritha saw, and what did he see? He saw before him his uncles and grandfathers, the teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons and grandsons, and many friends as well. So when Pritha saw and gazed on the opposing army, his vision was colored by love and not by enmity or bravery. If he had seen with the vision of the scorcher of enemies, this is what he would have been called. He would have been called the scorcher of enemies. But here Krishna said, Pritha. This indicates the power of control that Lord Krishna possesses. He said, Partha, behold, and Arjuna became as a son before his mother, full of love and reverence. Now Arjuna stands up to behold his opponents, but he fails to see them as opponents. And what does he see instead? He sees his dear ones. This is because his vision has been colored with love by Lord Krishna's calling him Partha. With this, the whole scene takes a critical turn. Arjuna, who was about to go into battle, is overtaken by pity, as the following verses show. This is the essence, and I will add a few words. Here, Arjuna is ready to rewrite his future. He is going through a process of transformation. As a Kshatriya, he knows when challenged, he has to fight, and that is his code of honor. Arjuna is a seeker of truth. He is highly integrated and very aware. He has developed high awareness and he has great ability to think deeply. When Lord Krishna thinks that Arjuna has to be ready to receive the knowledge, he has to be prepared to receive the knowledge and bring the transformation. Then this disciple called Arjuna has to be able to completely trust the master's senses and his words. He has to be able to surrender and have complete surrender. Now let us look at the stages of surrender. The surrender happens in 3 stages. At the first level, it is on the intellectual level, and it is the intellectual surrender. So this is in essence the intellectual acceptance of what the master represents and what he means to you. So when a disciple encounters a real master, when he meets the master that is destined for him, then he reaches this first stage of surrender. He sees in the master the qualities he has been searching for. Meeting such a master, then his questions start slowing down and dying down, and answers come even before questions happen. When intellectual surrender happens to the master, then there are adequate doubts that come up, which will slowly start replacing the inadequate questions. These doubts do not arise from ego, but they arise from a genuine, authentic need to know, to create adequate, complete cognition. So you will see Arjuna initially during the Bhagavad Gita discourse that he will be questioning he will be bringing out his doubts to Lord Krishna, and this is because he is still at the first stage of the surrender. In the next level, one reaches the state of emotional surrender. In the intellectual surrender, one is more functioning from the level of the head. But here in the emotional surrender, then everything is coming from the heart in addition to the head. Here the heart is surrendering. One feels a deep connection with the Guru and constantly remembers him. He finds it impossible to forget him. His memory brings tears of gratitude and appreciation, and his heart is melting with this gratitude. The final level of surrender is the surrender of the senses. Here he starts moving beyond doubt and faith, beyond doubts about the master and also about the knowledge. The master and the knowledge are one, they are not different. The ultimate knowledge and the master are both non-dual and in Advaita. This is the ultimate truth. So here the disciple will give up his distorted, incomplete senses of reality and embraces the truth of the Absolute and the reality of the Advaita. Now he has established a deep trust in the Master, recognizing that everything the Master expresses is for his liberation. So we will see that as Arjuna progresses through the Gita, these many layers of his incompletions come off, and he travels into the deeper stages of surrender. He comes to the final complete surrender to Lord Krishna. When one is approaching the Master and one is approaching this knowledge, this Brahma Vidya, one has to have integrity, and the integrity is to oneself and also the complete integrity to the Master. Integrity has two dimensions. One, honoring the words you give to yourself and honoring the words you give to others. Integrity means not just fulfilling, but honoring the word you give to you and others as your very life. So here there are two components. It is the fulfilling the word or thought you give to yourself and to others. So you are included in this. In order to attain the Purnatva or the completion, then you have to also fulfill the words and thoughts that you cherish for yourself and also to others. The words that you utter, the thoughts that you have are you. You become the words. You speak to yourself and others. So you are that word. So there has to be integration of these thoughts and words within you, and what is coming out in the speech and what is coming out in the actions. That is then the total integration. It is important to choose the right words because you can create your reality with the power of your words. The first step of integrity is completing all the negative words we created with us, about us and life, and completing all of them. When we bring this integrity in our thoughts and words and actions, and we give our full life to fulfill these words, then cosmos intervenes. One gains the cosmic support and cosmos will fulfill our words and make them into reality. But the enlightened master has awakened to the level of pure consciousness and knows that this world is just another type of dream. When the disciple is completely able to trust the master's senses that this world is illusion and not his own senses that give the complete pseudo idea that this world is real and is the source of his happiness, then the surrender is total. So, when approaching the divine or one's master, the ultimate step is one of complete surrender. And this is what we will see with Arjuna. When one's life is driven by the samskaras and by the senses alone, then one doesn't even know what he's doing, why he's doing, and why he's living the way he's living, why he has married, why he's doing this job and making money. The whole of the life and living becomes unconscious. The Kaurava warriors, blindly driven by Duryodhana, did not know why they are fighting, why they want the power, and exactly what is going to happen. The Kaurava warriors followed Duryodhana blindly, unaware that the person they followed was blind himself. Again, the conflict between Arjuna and Duryodhana is the conflict that all humans face within themselves, a conflict between their possibility and patterns, their deep unconscious desires, the incompletions driven by their samskaras and patterns, and then the possibility of bringing purnatva or the completion and rising in consciousness. So we understand again and again that the only way to bring the purnatva is to rise in consciousness, and one has to transcend and allow the infusion of the pure consciousness into the mind and bring the transformation. This infusion of consciousness, the pure consciousness, and the raising of the consciousness to cosmic and divine levels will then remove these deep root patterns, will remove the root of these samskaras so that these samskaras will fall off then and the karmas are finished. So I would again remind that you do your meditation and then listen to this Gita, and then with your eyes closed, and then again listen, do your meditation for a few minutes so that you are settled and it sinks in. I will end it here. Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
वन्दे